What's up? I'm Jamin.
I'm Casey.
And I'm Olivia.
And we are a part of the Jackson Cloud and moving our way through the book of Genesis, chapter 37. We skipped a whole chapter and didn't have to read a whole big genealogy.
Insert genealogies here.
Yeah. And our next episode is about Joseph's dreams, which we already did a whole episode on that back when we talked about spiritual gifts. So, if you want to keep tracking in order, we'll add that video into this playlist so you can watch that next. But we're not going to rehash out all the dreams.
You mean we're going to put it right here?
No, we edit videos differently now. I don't edit things above your head when you point anymore. So
that was a good try.
Yeah, you looked really foolish. Okay.
No, it was in the playlist. He was going to insert the video anyway. Yeah.
I'm not going to do that anymore. All right, so we're going to move on to 37, chapter 37, which is where we get to know Joseph a little bit more. He's about 17 years old, and he was pasturing the flock with his brothers. So he was a shepherd boy.
Wait, pasturing or pasturing?
Pasturing.
Okay.
What did I say?
Pasturing.
No, I don't think so. Okay, he's with the sheep. And then
in the pasture.
He was with the sons of Bilhah and Zilpah. So this is his father's wives, right? He's with all of his brothers, but it's like his half brothers, and they hate him because he's the son of like the treasured mom, the one that Jacob was really into. So there's this jealousy already at play. Jacob totally plays favorites. Joseph is his favorite. He even gives Joseph a
Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Yeah. You guys ever see that play?
I've been in that play.
You were in that play? Were you in the children's choir?
No.
I was in the children's choir.
No, I was one of the guards.
Were you Pharaoh?
No.
I was wandering around with the 7 fat cows.
I was with one of the guards that
yeah.
guarded what was it, the moneylender's wife or whatever?
Do you have lines?
No.
Okay. So Casey didn't matter in that play. Just kidding. I'm kidding.
I mean, technically,
I was in the children's choir. Do you think I mattered?
Well, no, see, I did it for high school.
All my job was, oh no, Joseph, what you gonna do? Things look bad for you. Oh, what you gonna do? And my voice used to be high, so it was easy. Anyways.
I almost regret making the reference.
You did spiral us down this corridor.
See, technically, one of my scenes, I pretended to have sex with
what?
The one that tries to go after Joseph. It was
in a school play?
Now I regret Olivia having brought this up. Okay. I don't even remember that in the play. I was in the children's choir. I don't think that existed.
No, it did. It was in the second half.
Not in my version. You did the wrong version of this
I think
play.
most schools cut that out.
Yeah. What's wrong with you?
Nope.
What?
Well,
What?
We did it behind the curtain.
So?
I don't want to talk about this anymore. Okay. Did your parents come to that play?
I think so.
Ah! Moving on.
My school literally had to cancel our play because there was a joke about sex in it.
Really?
Yes.
School did you go to?
A public one.
Nope, we were accurate.
All right. I'm going to think real quick if I need to delete this episode. And I've decided to just keep going. Okay. So, robe of many colors. It may not have been. It may not have been a Technicolor Dreamcoat. Possibly. Well, so the word for robe of many colors, the Hebrew is sketch. We don't know what it means. So,
but
it might have been when the Hebrews were later translating this into Greek in the Septuagint, they called it the coat with long sleeves. So maybe Joseph was steampunk before everybody else. I don't know. Olivia
What?
thinks it's hilarious. Could have been the robe with long sleeves. Could have been translated other ways.
Why is that such an important bit to add in? The robe with long sleeves.
No, maybe
As if it's so important.
Did kings wear coats of long sleeve?
I have no idea.
Usually we just call it like a coat.
A robe.
Whatever the case may be, something about this robe obviously stood out. We've named plays after it that we all now regret talking about.
Listen, I tried to give you guys a
Nope.
fair warning.
No, you didn't. No,
I
you
tried.
did not.
I tried.
And then the brothers see how much Jacob loves Joseph, and they hate him for it. And that's not the only thing that's making life difficult between Joseph and the brothers. Joseph, back when he used to shepherd, he would bring bad reports. Or the word is ra. Ra can mean like bad, can mean evil. So he would bring bad or evil reports of his brothers back to his father because he'd spend all day with them in the field. And I don't know in what route that went. Is it that Joseph lied about his brothers? I kind of doubt it because his brothers seemed pretty awful, so they were probably the bad stories he was sharing could have been true, you know. Is it that like they're just out in the field talking about all these things and Joseph, young 17-year-old, haha, that's pretty funny, Reuben. Hey, Dad, in the field today, Reuben made a funny joke. You want to hear it? It was about you. And, you know, what in what sense is this going on? I don't know.
I bet he was just a brown noser.
I don't think that was his 17-year-old voice.
Maybe.
So he overhears his brothers talking about things, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go tell on them to Dad."
Yeah, I mean that could have been it.
But didn't you say he was 17 at this point?
Oh, I'm gonna go tell
17-year-olds
him
can
to
be
Dad.
brown nosers.
He
No,
doesn't-
they could be brown noses, but his voice was like, "Hi,
I am a female. How do you expect
Yeah.
my voice to be?
Yeah, do your low voice.
I'm gonna go tell on them to Dad.
Tell you-
I'm okay with that voice."
Whatever the case may be, in one way or another, Joseph is not helping the situation, right? Even with the dreams. Like, the dreams are great. God's giving them to him. All good. When you go out to your brother's like, oh boy, I had a dream last night that you all bowed down before me. You know, it's like, the bros, the bros aren't going to bite for that. So they're just getting like more and more ticked. And they even like kind of take that out. What are you saying? That we're all gonna bow down before you? So we're finally meeting Joseph, and it's not going great, to say the least. To the point.
In other words, he has too much pride.
To the well, yeah, he might. You know, when I read the story of Joseph growing up, tell me if this is the way you read it. That Joseph was just obliviously stupid about the way in which he was saying things. Anybody else ever have that feeling?
He was not tactful. Yeah.
I feel like when I was a kid, whenever we were told the story of Joseph, he's made out to be the
victim.
And like they don't really talk
Well,
about
he
how he
is
got
gonna be
himself
sold
there. Which,
into
like,
slavery.
to be fair, he is a victim of his brother's actions. But like, you know, they don't go into the details with kids and be like, he was kind of a jerk to his brothers.
Yeah.
They make it seem like he had no faults.
Yeah. So, and that, maybe that's just my Jamin learning this in children's church, you know. But like in my mind, like as I grew up and kept reading it through that old lens, it's like, oh man, Joseph, dude, you got to pay attention to the way you say things, you know, like, I can't believe it. I dreamt you all worshipped me. You know, like, Joseph,
I'm
come
your
on.
new
man.
king now.
Yeah.
Da-da-da.
Well, that's the way I've always read it. And as I've grown much older, I'm like, dude, if that's the way you are, like you're out of sync, man. You know. Granted, he is much younger than the others, so
Let's
there
just say
could
he
be
was
some foolishness.
he was very sheltered. That's the way I like to think about it.
All right. Well, one way or another, he did not help the situation to the point that his brothers, who have murdered before, get in a murderous situation with him. They see him coming because he's on his
Was it really
way.
a murderous situation, though?
It started out as a murderous situation. They planned on killing him. Guess who came to his rescue? Take a guess. 12 brothers. Let me help you. Reuben, Gad, Simeon. No, you don't remember this part
No,
of
I
the
do
play?
remember that part. I've just blocked that from my memory.
Well, which one's going to be the good one? Who's gonna save him from dying?
Who's the younger brother again?
You're thinking Benjamin,
Benjamin.
like his
No.
own flesh and blood is what you're thinking?
No,
Benjamin would make sense, but he's not the one.
but no, he's not the one. I'm assuming it's Reuben, but I could be wrong.
Wasn't Reuben the one in our last episode who basically slept with?
Oh yeah,
Jacob's
yeah, it
other
was.
wife?
Yeah, it was. Never mind. It's not.
So it wouldn't be
Yeah,
Reuben.
Reuben probably was the one that had the idea for killing him.
Yeah, except guess what? It was Reuben.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Reuben's the one who saves him. So now we're getting back into like, we just tried to figure out Joseph. Now
he
let's
was the
try to
oldest,
figure out.
right?
Yeah, now let's try to figure out Reuben. Why is Reuben not gung ho? Like he's already mad about
'Cause
everything.
now he has his
in the
own
family.
kids. So
Okay, so Casey's. I don't know.
I don't
Probably.
actually know. But I'm gonna say maybe.
I wouldn't. Be
I mean, he's
surprised.
old enough
Yeah.
to like have his own family at this point,
Yeah.
and he, well, yeah.
Yeah, he did just do the last act. So
There's also that. That is true. Yes. I would pitch out a few ideas. Maybe he feels bad about what he did to Dad when he slept with his concubine, and he's trying to earn back some favor. But if so, we have to remember what's his long game here, because he convinces everyone, no, put him in this pit. Like, let's just put him in there. We can sell him to someone. Then the Bible says, but Reuben planned on coming back to get him. So when he gets back and gets him, what are all the other brothers gonna? What the heck, man? So
it was your idea to do this in the first
yeah.
place.
Or is he, as Olivia said with Joseph, is he brown nosing? Like, hey, Dad, I know we've had our things in the past, but they were all gonna kill Joseph. I saved him. You're welcome.
Or it could be that he didn't want the others to kill him because he wanted to do it himself.
That's dark.
Yeah. What the heck, man?
I mean, it does say he was planning to come back later.
Well, let's read specifically what it says before we give Olivia too much
Just saying.
credence to this idea. Come, let us kill him and throw him in one of these pits. A fierce animal devoured him is what we'll tell. No, too far. Where are we? Am I even in the right
You're
chapter?
unsold. I think we have to go back a little bit.
Their brothers were near Shechem. Israel said, Joseph, are not your brothers out in Shechem? Come, I will send you to them. He said to him, here I am. He goes out there and he runs into a man, says, I'm seeking my brothers. Tell me, please, where they're pasturing the flock. The man said, they have gone away, for I heard them say, let us go to Dothan. Joseph went there, found them, and when they saw him from afar, they said, here comes this dreamer. Come now, let us kill him and throw him in one of the pits. Then we will say that a fierce animal has devoured him, and we will see what becomes of his dreams. But when Reuben heard it, he rescued him out of their hands, saying, let us not take his life. And Reuben said to them, shed no blood. Throw him into this pit in the wilderness, but do not lay a hand on him, that he might rescue him out of their hand to restore him to his father.
Oh,
So yes, he's not setting him up to kill him himself.
maybe he is. Maybe he is trying to gain back his father's favor then.
Definitely.
Well, it also seems like a test on God, though, too.
In what way?
Well, that he might rescue him out of their hands to restore him to his father. Who's the he?
That Reuben might go back and rescue him.
Because Reuben's the one talking here.
Yeah, Reuben's the one who's like, don't put a hand on him, just throw him in this ditch. So, and then parentheses, so I might come back and rescue him. So Jacob shows up, they strip him of his robe of many colors or long sleeves, and they took him and threw him into the pit. And the pit was empty, there's no water into it. And then of all the people that come by, it's the Ishmaelites.
Oh.
That Abraham had this other son named Ishmael, who gives rise to the Ishmaelites. And they're the ones that Reuben isn't there anymore. He's going to come back later. But all the other brothers are like, hey, wait, we were just going to lie about killing him. Let's go ahead and just sell him, make some money off of this. So again, not great people. They sell their brother to the Ishmaelites, and the Ishmaelites then sell Joseph to Egypt. And while this is going to start first suffering to eventual thriving for Joseph, it's also going to start suffering for Jacob's family in famine to eventually thriving in Egypt to eventually being persecuted in Egypt as they find their descendants becoming slaves in that land. But all that being said, we continue to see lots of disconnect between the family. They go back to Dad and they're like, look, we found his robe. They dip it in blood. They're like, he's been mauled, he's dead. And Jacob is so broken down by this that he won't let anyone comfort him. People keep coming, trying to help him out, and he's like basically ready to die. He says, I'll go down to Sheol to my son mourning. And so he cries forever. Which is eventually going to, I think, lighten some of the hearts of some of the children. Because if you remember at the end of the Joseph story, one of them, when Joseph says, leave Benjamin here, one of them's like, no, take me instead. He's just like, Dad can't handle another loss of one of
Rachel's sons.
So, maybe in some way they eventually do get to a place of guilt for what they've just done to Dad. But this particular story, they're going to keep locked up.
So, no, I'll do that one later.
Yeah. So this is a story that we all know happened, but it's not the story that Jacob's ever going to know until Joseph resurfaces much later. In fact, so much later that you'd think we just follow the Joseph story next. We don't. We actually, it's like time goes by back home before we go back to Joseph. And that will be our next episode where we'll keep watching. But before we move out of this episode, is there any final thoughts or anything?
Make sure to keep your long sleeve robes safe.
Or don't flaunt them. I knew I shouldn't have bought that robe. It's literally a robe. I thought it'd be something. I have to keep taking the puppy outside. So I needed a robe. So I got one. And now you're both going to kill me. And I'm just trying to process all this. It's a lot right now.
Alternatively, you could have just worn any other clothes to take the puppy outside.
No, because then you got to get up, get dressed, go outside. But not if you just wake up.
No, it's the old man Jamin now.
This is old. This isn't 17-year-old Jamin anymore, Olivia.
No, it's a rite of passage to buy your first old man robe.
Well, hey, what's the application of this story for you? Let us know. There's a lot of narrative at this point in Genesis, and sometimes it's hard to find the central point because this story continues to go on.
In other words, don't beat up your brothers.
Well, that would be a
or
good
sell
thing.
them. Don't sell them
Or
either.
kill them.
Or flaunt it if you got it.
Just don't be a jerk to them in general, maybe.
Don't flaunt your robe if you got it. That means something
You're
else.
the only
Jamin
one.
has a one-track mind.
What? No.
Yeah.
That's
He's
pretty much.
only focused on the robe here.
In his robe
It has
specifically.
so many colors, okay? Man.
Or maybe it has no colors and just long sleeves.
Or...
That's what you're going to say.
Yeah. You're probably right. It was red and yellow and green and brown and purple and turquoise and orange and